This conference will now be recorded.
Hey everybody, this is Sean Green, Wasatch Group Real Estate. How you doing? Hey, wanted to touch base with you, give you guys an overview of a few of the transactional tools that we offer here over at Wasatch Group. Always looking for agents to help us buy and sell flips and rentals, so please keep us in mind for that. And we're always looking to bring over more agents that can help us, as well as agents that we can help build their business as well. So just wanted to tell you about a few of the things that we use that save a lot of time and effort. As you know, the process can get to be a little bit tedious, and the better the organization that we have, the smoother the process. One of the frustrations I've always had when completing transactions, whether on the listing agent end or the buyer's agent end, it's just organizing the contacts. What we've been using over here at Wasatch Group is a pretty simple tool. We call it the transaction management sheet, and it's really nice. I attach it as the first page of my complete contract package. That way, when I'm going back through doing procedural things, I can say, okay, we have all our contacts in one area here. So you fill out, at the beginning of the transaction, you fill out the fields here that I'm scrolling through up and down, and you fill it out one time, and then you even put in your contract dates, disclosures, due diligence deadline, all that, so you have that handy. And it's a single source where you can go back and say, okay, who was the seller's title on this one? Who was the listing broker? Who was the seller? Who's the buyer? Who's the title company that the buyers are using? Who's the title company that the listing side's using? It's really, really handy. I actually send that out to everybody that's a party to the transaction. Boy, everybody loves it. It's a simple tool that, if utilized, really makes the process go a lot smoother. There's nothing I hate more than having to go through and go back through emails to figure out who title is, and go back through emails to determine who the agent's assistant is, or whatever it might be. You notice we have an area. I do a lot of 1031s, so we do have an area for a 1031 exchange company. Really handy if both parties know who that is. Buyer's lender, all that fun stuff. HOA info is really, really handy. That's another one I just hate having to figure out. That's one of the tools we use. Another tool that's become more useful in the last few years, since multiple offers have become a big thing, is our what we call an offer evaluation sheet. So let's say we get 10 offers on a property, which isn't unusual. We can quickly evaluate each offer, and it will give us a net to the seller. So let's say we put in our purchase price here. Let's say the seller paid buyer closing costs. Let's say they want them to pay $5,000. Okay. Seller paid home warranty. They want $350. FHA required repairs, if applicable, of course. Let's put in $250. FHA required pest control, if applicable, of course. We'll put in $150. And then other fees, let's leave that blank for a minute. You could populate that with whatever you wanted. But then you'll see we have the purchase price less the expenses gives us a net to seller. And then let's go ahead and put in our real estate commission. Let's say we're going to do 0.06, so 6%. It will calculate that for you. It'll also calculate a rough estimate on title insurance fees. This is based on a percentage, but it tends to be pretty accurate if you have a reasonable title insurance company. And then it totals up all your fees. You go ahead and put in the loan amount, and then you'll be able to have the approximate proceeds here at closing. You can put in the type of financing, so they can consider that as they're analyzing the offer. Let's say it's FHA in this case, and let's say that the down payment amount is 0. So we've got a first-time home buyer utilizing Utah Housing or another grant program. And we have an earnest money deposit of $2,000. So you can send this over to your client and prepare one for each offer. It will give them a quick net to seller. It will say, hey, this is the financing type, this is the terms, and then they can really make a decision that's based on the best information. A couple other tools that tend to be really, really helpful during the transaction is we do have a preferred contractors list. These are folks that we have used many, many times day in and day out, from drywall people to base and case to blinds to engineering for structural changes. And all of these folks are awesome. And they are all very, very available. They wouldn't be on the list if I hadn't used them multiple times. So everybody knows how often clients look to us to point them towards people that can do repairs or whatever it might be. One other thing that we do that's kind of nice is we do have where to go? A renovation spreadsheet we've talked about just a little bit. This is a great, if your buyer is looking at a fixer-upper, you can go through it room by room, say what you want to do, and it will kind of give you a rough renovation cost. That's good if you want a lot of detail. Okay, that takes about 15-20 minutes to go through each property. This is a really good tool to use if you're looking for something much rougher. So in other words, you go in and say, hey, we need to remodel one bathroom, we need to do base paint, interior paint, and you just put an X in the field, and based on the square footage, it'll actually give you an average cost. This is based on a lot of different properties that we've renovated. So it's not as accurate as the other one, but it does give a good rough estimate of renovation costs based on the square footage of the home. My biggest pet peeve is when you get a first-time home buyer that says, oh, this 1,500 square foot home is outdated and it's going to take $90,000 to renovate it. And as we know, it's just not going to be that expensive. And this will help put things in perspective. Of course, you'll always want to have these backed up by bids and all that. But this will give a good guideline and provide some good education for you and, more importantly, your client. Anyway, thanks for your time. These are just a few examples of some of the transactional tools we have over here at Wasatch Group. Always looking to bring new agents over. We're always looking for properties to buy and sell for flips and rentals. If you have any questions or if we can provide you anything further, feel free to give me a call, 801-808-9164. Thank you.